Can I
Pretty sure it's where it went down.
Yep. Yeah.
Can I just play devil's advocate here? All right, let me just throw it because I think we all agree, or at least the feeling is LeBron had to know about the trade, right?
He had to have known the orchestra. I think even the league is pushing for this. They want so badly for the Lakers to be relevant. And the reality is I don't think that's going to solve your viewership issue. I don't think that's going to solve the issues with this league by combining Luka and LeBron and helping LeBron in this quest with his son on the team now too and Bronny to go win a championship. And maybe that's it for him. Maybe he does sail off. Maybe he continues to play 2 more years or whatever you said. I feel like this is manufactured in order to make this league, make the Lakers. LeBron's still the face of it because ultimately he is one of those Mount Rushmore GOATs, at least in my opinion. And I think this helps him get closer to another championship so you can drum up that conversation again. Like, look at the NFL right now. What's the biggest storyline going into this game? Why is this game so monumental in the history of Super Bowls?
The three-peat.
Yeah.
It's the three-peat. And so what is the one thing you can try to bring back to LeBron in his career at this point to try to bring back relevance? It's him trying to chase Jordan, trying to win more. It's all those things. He's got all the stats. He's played forever, so he's gonna have that. He will not have the championship. So if you start to try to give him more of an opportunity with however long he's got left, that at least brings that back into the discussion point.
It's really disrespectful what you're doing, and I think you owe Laker fans listening on the Blowtorch, AM 570,
One more time
Sports,
for me.
an apology, the Blowtorch. Because you're trying to sit here and make it seem like, yeah, get him another title. You act like he didn't win a legitimate title in L.A. already.
Everyone forgets that one.
Well,
I mean,
it's
come
2.
on.
It's 2. Don't forget that's been 2 titles.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, the bubble title and the in-season tournament title.
You know what is funny about it?
That's right.
I mean, it's 2.
I really forgot about that one.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and by they do count that on. If you go to Basketball Reference, it does count as like one of your awards and achievements.
Can I ask you guys a quick question? I know you got a point, but can I ask you a question? Because what comes to mind in this conversation is, first of all, I think it puts that much more pressure on LeBron James to win a title when you make this type of a move.
He should.
All right? Because that's the equivalent of bringing like Clyde Drexler or Hakeem Olajuwon to your team to help Michael Jordan
Clyde?
win. And it's like, listen, people say that LeBron James has had to depend on other people to win championships. He's had to depend on other mega players to win championships. So while I'll say this, it's commonplace. I'm not going to judge him for bringing in a guy that he feels can get him to a championship. But with that being said, how much more pressure is it to win that championship? Because if you don't win having a Luka on your team, people are going to be like, see, I told you. Imagine if Mike had a Luka, the equivalent of a Luka on his team. Okay? He's going to win.
There's also this, too. The Lakers are being dwarfed by the Dodgers right now, and that's just a fact. And Laker fans who may not be Dodger fans, if there are any of those, you can try and fight back that all you want. There is a staleness.
I don't think they would fight that.
There's a staleness to the LeBron era right now that Laker fans, they don't view him like they did Kobe.
There's some
they don't
reason.
view him like
they don't love him like that.
Did they ever feel like he was a Laker as opposed to like a
people
mercenary?
don't really love like Lakers fans in LA. You have different ones. You have the ones that think he's a lowercase God, but then you have the other ones that are like, like, why is he still here? Why hasn't he? Like, I'm sure there's some people that were like, why didn't they trade LeBron instead of Anthony Davis?
Like they needed
why
something.
didn't that happen?
They needed something to try and generate some buzz around that team because it's been stale.
Well,
like it's the same old.
It's stale when LeBron James's son playing is the biggest news connected to the team. I mean, think about that. Think about that. That's your biggest news that you're generating for one of the most storied franchises in all of sport.
You know what's sad is I'll go on social media and see highlights. It will be like some guy voicing over the highlights
and
of
he
Bronny.
just missing everything.
Yeah, and he like hypes him up, and like I'm like, why is this like whoever that person is? Why are you doing that with your time?
Well,
in your
I mean,
life?
even Stephen A. and them, like mainstream media has chose to make Bronny James the most relevant topic of the Lakers? Think about that.
Yeah.
Like, that's a hard stretch sell to think that you're going for provocative reporting, provocative content by talking about Bronny James. That's crazy. Like, and that's another. Is that a symptom of where media is gone, or is that a symptom of how bad the product has gotten? Because I could be damned if they're going to talk about anything but the players who were the players, whether you were talking about the Pistons and their group, or the Lakers and their guys, or the Bulls and their guys, like the older generations. You're not talking about things like this when you're doing coverage of a team.
Right.
The son of one of the players, and he shouldn't be here? Oh, God. Swollen.
I was also thinking.
Very juicy.
I was also thinking.
Never seen one of those.
In regards to, like, the fit, what I love about it, and this isn't, like, again, it's not a knock towards LeBron, but LeBron's not like Kobe in the sense of if there was that last shot, Kobe was always taking it. Right?
Yeah.
Jordan was Jordan's taking it for the most part. You know, LeBron will make the smart basketball decision, everyone always says. Luka's the dude who will take that shot. He's the dude who will take that shot with 2-3 guys up. Doesn't matter. He's taking that shot. So from that standpoint, like, they've got a guy now who's a hired gun that will go out and make those shots, make his points. Jonas, you talked about it. They're not going to play defense. I don't think they're worried about playing defense. I think at this point they're like the other three guys can handle that, right? Or LeBron is part of that. But we've got a guy now who we feel like can drop on any given night 30-plus points.
I also think there's going to be another move.
There has to be.
Yeah, because you
be.
can't expect – I know the odds shifted dramatically. You can't expect that this team is legitimately a title contender with this. Like,
you
there's
need
got
because they don't have size.
Yeah, like whether it, you
need one more.
Miles Turner or like whoever you're going to bring in, like they've got to bring in somebody else because losing Anthony Davis, we can say whatever we want about him when he's on the floor.
Yeah,
dude,
it's a defensive presence. They're a long team.
He's fantastic.
I might venture to say they might need a facilitator too. To be honest, they might need a facilitator. Now, if LeBron wants to take on that role, but I don't know if he can. Can he take on the pure point guard facilitator role if they were to add one more big man? Or do you look at it as you get a facilitator and you hope that you have enough length and you have enough skill where you maybe can get away with not having a legitimate big? A lot of teams these days in today's NBA don't really feel as though they have to have a true five just because of how far the game has moved away from the rim. So,
I mean,
I think they probably, if you're asking me, I feel like they might need more of a facilitator.
That's interesting.
That's that last piece missing.
Makes sense, though.
Versus anything else.